You're on the spot with the Packet Pushers. We are at VMworld 2018 with Turbonomic, Eric Wright. So Eric, show floor's pretty busy with people coming by. What's something that folks may not know about Turbonomic?
Definitely over the course of the last year, since the last VMworld, we are a real strong hybrid story. The biggest thing is the introduction of public cloud. We saw it. It's VMware Cloud on AWS, native AWS stuff. You know, we're doing stuff obviously with native AWS, with Azure as well. We've got Ignite around the corner, so I kind of got to give a shout out to, we'll be there at reInvent, but definitely here. People are listening. They want to know about what's the cloud story, how do they make it work with their existing environment. So, our ability to extend not just on what we did on premises, but same thing on the cloud side.
So what are people looking to get from you around hybrid? What are they coming to you to get out of it?
It's definitely the same idea around mapping, finding performance, so best possible performance, keeping policy compliance, especially around like data placement and maintaining rules about availability. And
so making sure you've got your data in the right zone, that you're not violating some kind of compliance or regulatory rule. Okay.
And minimum application availability. So if I'm doing things that are disruptive to a multi-tiered app, make sure I'm not actually wiping out availability of the application.
That's
ensuring minimum availability zones for distribution, and then doing all of that while also using as efficiently as possible, which if you think about on-premises, it was hard to see that because it would take 3 years before you would rebuy hardware necessarily.
Right.
But in the cloud, you see it the next minute, like the moment you make those decisions happen, and they're fully automatable, which is pretty cool. So.
Okay, and you can do this across multiple public clouds?
Yes, yeah. So today we work in Azure and AWS. We're looking for next opportunities. In fact, right before we got to the show, we announced we also do the managed Kubernetes across all clouds. So that includes the GKE, AKS, PKS, and Pivotal Cloud Foundry as well. So it's like that. If you think about the folks that 2 years ago didn't even think about containerization, and it's everywhere, and so we're there with it.
So we obviously, Packet Pushers talk a lot about containerization. It's all over the tech media, but in terms of conversations you're having with customers, is it still just talk about Kubernetes, or is there actual adoption and uptake?
It's real. We're moving from development to production. Like Docker was the big thing, right? That was the big wow. But we realized Docker wasn't the thing, it was the methodology. And in fact, we blew past Docker, we just adopted containerization.
Yeah.
So the stuff we do with OpenShift was huge, because the container is hard to manage. How do you network it? How do you get storage to it? How do you ensure scaling, etc.? So people really got an early view into that the container idea was super, and then they said, I can't deploy it anywhere, or I can't scale it. So that's where the PCF stuff comes in, and we see OpenShift. So, but it's real. We've got big customer implementations, and more people are seeing real production stuff.
Fantastic. All right, if folks want to find out more about Turbonomic, where should they go?
You can go to turbonomic.com. We'll be at Microsoft Ignite and other events as well, AWS reInvent.
And you're also a very social guy, so what's...
Oh yeah, unfortunately, you're going to be stuck hearing my voice all over. So I'm Disco Posse online. You can find me
on Twitter, yeah.
On Twitter, it's at Disco Posse. Of course, Twitter-wise, follow at Turbonomic. You'll keep in touch with all the news that's going on.
All right, thanks a lot.
Great, thank you.